Economics Made Simple. Today we'll be looking at one of my favorites, Japan. So, konnichiwa, as the Japanese say. On the global stage, Japan is the world's third largest economy, with a GDP of $4.8 trillion. But what we want to explore today is unemployment, specifically in Japan. So what exactly is unemployment? Well, let's work backwards. Think about it like this. There are individuals who are said to be part of a labor force. These could be people like your mom, dad, sister, brother, or hey, even you. The labor force in Japan is comprised of anyone over the age of 15 and under the age of 60, who is responsible for supplying and producing the goods and services for everyone. Now, it's important to remember that the people who aren't considered part of the labor force are either too young to work or suffer from conditions that prohibit them to work. Now, let's delve a little deeper. Does it mean that everyone in the labor force has a job? Not quite. See, the labor force is broken up into the employed, people who have a job and are earning income, and the unemployed, which is our focus. A person is said to be unemployed if 1. They're without work, 2. They're currently available for work, or 3. They're seeking work. They're considered part of the labor force because they are actively looking for a job. Japan, a country of about 125 million people, many individuals are unemployed and dispersed over Japan's nearly 7,000 islands. To better understand this, meet Eiko, a member of the Japanese labor force. Eiko was employed with a large accounting firm. However, due to the economic downturn, he was unfortunately laid off. This is the situation for many individuals in Japan who are unemployed and dispersed over Japan's nearly 7,000 islands. There are many individuals like Eiko who are laid off by their employers because the company may not have enough money to pay all their employees due to economic downturn, the recession. There are endless reasons why. But how is it measured? The unemployment rate gives us the percentage of the unemployed to the total labor force. Which is the unemployed number of people divided by the total population of the labor force, times 100. If you're wondering, the unemployment rate for Japan is obtained by the Ministry of Internal Affairs and Communications. Basically, the ministry in the government of Japan. But hey, I bet you're wondering how Japan ranks compared to other economic superpowers around the world. As of August 2014, the unemployment rate in Japan is at only 3.5%. But you'd be surprised to know that Japan's unemployment rate is significantly lower compared to other economic superpowers. Why? Well, Japan is the world's third largest economy and a huge producer of electronic goods, vehicles, machine, engines, medical equipment, plastics, iron, steel, a huge exporter. Japan has seen tremendous growth, resulting in an increased dependence on the country by the world. As a result, the demand for labor has significantly increased within factories within Japan. Also, the idea of lifetime employment has contributed to a lower level of the overall unemployment rate. Japanese companies have tried to avoid layoffs through implementing wage incentives that discourage employees from seeking out other positions. As a result, many individuals don't even bother with job hopping. Japan's unemployment rate has actually fluctuated within the range of 3.7% to 3.5% between the months of January and February this year. However, it was once increased to 5.6% during the 2010 recession, and back in the 1960s it used to be at 1%. But times have changed, and if individuals find themselves unemployed, well, what does that mean? For Japan, or any country in general. Let's look at something called the ripple effect. Unemployment is one of the 6 economic indicators. It can tell us why the economy is functioning the way it is. With about 2.31 million people unemployed, fewer people working jobs means an increasing number of people will have less disposable income to spend on goods and services. So if spending decreases when people are unemployed, that means the demand for goods and services also decrease, forcing suppliers to produce less. And well, when they produce less, economic growth slows down and the overall GDP contracts. Simply put, the unemployment rate causes a ripple effect on the economy, causing overall GDP to slowly contract. In Japan specifically, unemployment increases the number of discouraged workers, which are those individuals who may want a job but after an unsuccessful searching, give up. This is especially true for women in Japan. The ministry's data has also shown that women left the job market or gave up on looking for employment, and often ended up staying home to become mothers and homemakers, or because they had reached retirement age. However, so now that you know that Japan's unemployment rate is low, you might be wondering whether this employment measure truly reflects the actual economy. Because with every measurement, there are some discrepancies that need to be looked at. Recall, the purpose of an unemployment rate is to measure the underutilization of labor resources. However, this measure is imperfect for 2 reasons. One, being that it excludes some underutilized labor, and the second, that there is always some unemployment present, known as natural unemployment. 2 categories do not fit the definition of what defines an unemployed person, and are thus excluded from the unemployment rate. These individuals are known as marginally attached workers. These are the people who are currently not working or looking for a job but have indicated that they want one and are available for one, such as discouraged workers. Let's suppose Eiko has been searching for work in other accounting firms after being laid off. A couple of months go by and he still hasn't been rehired. Now he's just frustrated and has stopped searching altogether. The second category not accounted for are the part-time workers who want full-time jobs. They're known as involuntary part-timers. In 2012 as well, Japan's share of involuntary part-time workers in the labor force was 4.8%, which is why the unemployment rate does not give a full accurate representation of Japan's economy. Finally, it's important to realize that there's always some unemployment that's inevitable, and this natural unemployment arises from people entering and leaving the labor force. But hey, if you're the youngest in the family and your mom might be retiring, you could be starting. This is known as frictional unemployment, an unemployment that occurs because changes in technology or location of jobs is known as structural unemployment. So Japan's natural rate of unemployment is around 3.1%, showing how this amount is unavoidable. To recap, we defined the unemployment rate and gave the current levels in Japan. We compared these unemployment rates and explained how economic growth in Japan is the main reason as to why unemployment has decreased over time. And as a result of unemployment, this causes overall GDP to contract over time. And remember, there are some measurements that are excluded from unemployment, questioning the validity of the measure. Thanks for watching Economics Made Simple, with the focus on unemployment in Japan. We hope you found this video just a bit more informative.